Hello, everybody. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. My name is Dr. Daniel Page, but you can just call me Dan or Daniel. I want to welcome everybody to the channel, whether you're a former student, current student, future student, maybe you're just really interested in computer science. Everybody's welcome on here. So I want to tell you about some updates here, what I've been up to the last little while. Did I do everything I told you about in my last update video? And what you should expect to come forward from here, okay? So let's talk a little bit about this. So before I do that, I just want to mention, if you want to help support these projects, whether it be advancing more affordable computer science educational materials, whether it be for university students, whether you just say you want to just learn computer science, like you don't need to be a university student to learn computer science. Just to be very clear, if you want to enhance your learning, you want to boost that stuff up, or you just want to learn some new exciting stuff about the world of computer science, about some of that meat and potatoes, the stuff that really makes this stuff work, please consider supporting at the links below. And you can find updates at patreon.com/PageWizard. In addition to this, you can support my academic research in theoretical computer science and also in academic standards in Canadian computer science, which I'll discuss briefly some bits about that in a little bit moment. So anyways, let's now talk about it. I'm really excited to talk to you about all of this. So first, I was actually on an academic journey down in the United States. I actually was a visiting assistant professor for the academic year of 2023-2024 at New College of Florida. I wanted to see for myself how things are down there, and I had a lovely time with many amazing students. Thank you for the wonderful time, everybody there. So say, for example, you're one of my students there. Please let me know how you're doing in the comments, okay? Beyond that, I want to extend that also to all my former students and really everybody that's excited to learn about computer science and wants to be a part of joining the academic island that I'm trying to build here with everybody. So please let me know how you're doing. If there's something that excites you, let me know. So I was actually down there. I had a variety of classes. I taught some really high quality stuff. I was teaching some cryptography, so we learned some really neat theory around cryptography. I also taught a class in theory computation, also in data structures, also algorithms. I even had time to do a group independent study project with a lovely group of students where we learned about 2D game development. So I had a lot of lovely projects, amazing stuff. I was so happy to see everybody get so excited about making games. And that's one of those things, listen, I like to get people really excited about the mayonnaise and mustard of computer science, but when I see students getting to make those things and really get some exciting things where they get those ideas and put them together, it's really something amazing to see. So other than that, I also got to run a tutorial on advanced algorithms and even got to do some stuff with discrete math. Oh no, I said the M word. The mayonnaise, it was a really good sandwich, okay? So anyways, it was a blast down there, and I had a lovely time working with some lovely people down there. So thank you so much. But yeah, beyond that, I was still working away on the things I talked all about. So with some of my research. So for example, with some collaborators of mine at University of Western Ontario, we had published a paper on the thief orienteering problem and approximation algorithms. So I'll put a link to the description to the conference paper that was published. That's one thing that came out. In addition, we submitted an extended version of this paper that has some new results, and beyond that, that was submitted in November. I'm hoping that paper will get accepted, assuming that it's all correct. So if there's any updates on that, I'll let you know. Again, check out the updates at patreon.com/PageWizard. So I do try to put up monthly updates over there. So do keep in mind, beyond this, I've also been doing some research as well on machine scheduling. So I've still been working on my work on bag constraints. So if you're curious about that, I believe I have some papers on that I've done. If you're curious about that, let me know in the comments. Also, with respect to my academic standards research I've been doing on Canadian computer science. Some of you might know I've been studying for the last 5 or 6 years now the erosion of intellectual autonomy in Canadian computer science, namely in hiring procedures. So this is something that affects many STEM fields and many areas in the universities in Canada. This is also an issue that's also in the United States, but I would argue that there's some degree of it that's even more concerning in Canada. So I've been doing a lot of novel research on this. So for example, I produced the first data set in Canadian STEM on what I call DIE pledges. So these is based on diversity, inclusion, equity. those words, it makes it sound like it's something that it really isn't. Speaking as somebody that's done that type of work in the past professionally, it's not the same thing. So I've been studying what is, I would argue, is probably one of the most dangerous things that you can have in a peaceful kind of general society, is what is called academic culling. That is when you have a totalitarian mindset that infects the procedures of an institution, pushing out conscientious objectors. So I've been studying a lot of the research around this involving academic culling, namely around these, what I call die pledges. I've also been studying preferential and restricted hiring. And my data set that I published, the preliminary version of it I published in December, as I promised, it is out there. You can look it up. I'll put a link in the description if you're curious about that. I'll have some more videos to talk about this. If say what I've been discussing the last couple of minutes just sounds absolutely alien, don't worry, I will talk more about it. If you want to see a little bit about this, I did put out a video here on the channel. It was a part of a talk I gave for the Society for Academic Freedom and Scholarship. Preliminary version of the talk actually I gave this year. You can find it on the channel. I put that out in December of 2023. So you can check that out if you're curious more about that. It is a serious concern, and I believe that the general public should be deeply concerned about what's happening to our universities, especially in the last 5 years. It's not the same thing it has been. So please do check out some of this research. It's completely novel. And I've been working pretty much all the time trying to do something about it. Because it's so easy to say, oh, well, Dan, this thing's happening, well, just whatever. Like, no, we need to do something about it. And I think that first place really needs to be because those within the universities are not doing their jobs properly anymore. They're letting these mechanisms take over, and they're not the professionals, these professors. Like myself, I'm a professor. I'm expecting these professors to do their job. And you should expect them to do the same thing too. So I'll discuss more about this sometime in the near future here. So on that note, actually, I gave a talk at the annual academic meeting of the Society for Academic Freedom and Scholarship, or SAFS. So I gave an invited talk there. I was one of the invited speakers for that conference. And I gave a talk on this research there. So if you haven't heard of SAFS before, I highly encourage you to check it out, especially if you're concerned about hiring decisions of universities, academic freedom, or just general decisions about academic standards at universities. This is an excellent group to check out. They have a lot of valuable information, and there's a lot of lovely talks out there from and have been hosted by SAFS over the years that really show you a wide gambit of different thoughts about academic freedom. But this is I would argue, is probably the prominent group across all Canada that you should check out. It's one of these groups that you should consider supporting if you're concerned about some of these things. A lot of the stuff I've done wouldn't have been possible without SAFS. So what you might think of, what else I've been up to? So I've done some research. I was down in Florida. In the coming year, I'll be working on a new game. So please, if you're curious about that, come be a part of what we're up to here. Also, I am working on a new edition of the Advanced Data Structures book. It's going to go on likely under a new name. It'll be much more expanded than the present version is. So this one will actually include, start way more earlier. So it'll start at variables, arrays, linked lists, and it'll start all the way there and work its way up to multi-way search trees. So the book at this present time makes a lot of assumptions about up to arrays and linked lists. But beyond there, it has a lot of assumptions. It's very much designed to be like a second year or third year class, if you think of it like a course. So I'm planning to kind of fill it in so it's a much more comprehensive piece. And also will add some new things that will make it into a proper textbook rather than a collection of lectures. So do look out for that. I am working on that. And that also means that I will be producing a new video series for this book. This will be probably one of the more comprehensive resources that you can find. Probably its most affordable one of the more affordable ones out there. So that's something to be pretty excited about. I'm also working more on my Big O Bootcamp book. So that will be one of the most comprehensive resources for proving Big O claims. If you want to learn more about Big O notation, I'm still working on that. There's videos here you can find on the channel. There's multi-part series on it. I may add more videos on that. I do want to mention that I usually do game streams and a lot of other types of streams like live lectures here. Presently, my connection of the internet is not the greatest here. Usually we had a much more stable one, but I'm hoping in about a month or two, I'll have that infrastructure in place so that we could get back to doing that some more. Because I want to talk about some more topics. I know I've had some requests to do ones on Turing machines. I've also am curious about doing some more series on things that are maybe lower level, like say maybe assembly programming, but more about like the theory around some of this stuff. But also building on some of the stuff I do not have in my catalog here on the channel. So if you have some curiosity you're just dying to know more about, let me know. Let me know. Do know that that beyond that, I'm still working away on things here. There's more educational projects on the way. Some of those things I can't tell you about quite yet. But I got a lot of stuff going on here, and I'm hoping that you'll join me on this ride. If you haven't already, I know there's some really dedicated people that have been so helpful with a lot of the projects I've been up to here. So please, thank you very much, and please tell your friends to come join the fun, everybody. So I want to say thank you very much, everybody, and I'll see you soon. So have yourself a beautiful day. I'll see you later.